All right. Good morning, sir. Are you Travis Allen Wirt?
Yes.
I'm Judge Middleton. This is file 21587SM. This is an unscheduled matter, at least unscheduled for this morning. This is file 21587. The defendant is charged with domestic violence. Domestic violence is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Mr. Paul Gibson is here on very short notice, which I appreciate, Mr. Gibson. Ms. Davis has not been able to log in. I'm not sure she's running behind, and they're going to try to get somebody here, but I've got a docket that's busy docket that starts at 9. Anyway, Mr. Wirt just showed up here this morning and said, well, I'm here to see the judge. So I said, we'll put him in the conference room and then we'll line up Mr. Gibson. So this matter was set for a jury trial on Wednesday. Mr. Gibson was here, Ms. Davis was here, I was here, Bailey Wirt was here, but Travis Wirt was not. So I called him up and said, hey, where are you? And he said, this isn't set for today, it's set for 1:15. Well, he was confused because it was set for 1:15. I mean, it was set for 8:30 on Wednesday morning. Mr. Gibson had been trying to get a hold of Mr. Wirt without any success. Anyway, he didn't show up. So obviously we didn't have a jury trial. There was discussion that the prosecution had offered disturbing the peace. So Mr. Gibson attempted to schedule Mr. Wirt to come in yesterday afternoon when the court had time to address this matter. And again, Mr. Wirt didn't show up. So he rolls in this morning and says, well, here I am. So here we are. Mr. Gibson, my understanding from the record we made on Wednesday is that the prosecutor has offered to dismiss the charge of domestic violence for a plea to disturbing the peace. Mr. Wirt, disturbing the peace is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. It does not carry a firearm restriction. Mr. Gibson, have you had an opportunity to discuss that plea offer with the defendant?
I did discuss that with the defendant, yes. And Attorney Davis had indicated that as part of that offer that she was recommending some type of a short probation because she was asking the defendant to have to participate in an anger management class. And so when I explained the potential plea to the defendant, I believe that he did not wish to take the plea because he did not believe that it was fair for him to be put on probation or to have to do an anger management class.
All right. Mr. Wirt?
Yeah.
Are you going to accept the offer of disturbing the peace?
No.
All right. Well, we'll have to set this for trial. First of all, you're in contempt of court for you failed to appear for court on 2 separate occasions. You roll in here on a Friday morning at 8 o'clock like it's a haircut. You just drop in and get. You're sitting there with a hat on and no friggin' clue about how to be respectful to the court. The prosecutor's offered a disturbing the peace. You're not willing to accept it. You're so clueless. You weren't in contact with your lawyer. We almost brought in 36 jurors for a jury trial that we were prepared to do. You're declining to accept the prosecutor's plea offer. I find you're in contempt for failing to appear for your court hearing on Wednesday. I'm going to order 2 days in jail for contempt starting right now.
Do what?
You're going to jail for contempt for failing to appear for court.
I got my dates mixed up. I have 2 different.
Well, yes, you did. So you'll have some time to think about it. 2 days, credit 0, starting right now. We've squandered a jury day because of your negligence. The prosecutor wants an anger management. I wasn't. The complaining witness who was here at the courthouse drove over here for your jury trial that you didn't show up for. So we'll set the matter for a jury trial on another day, but you're going to jail right now for 2 days for jerking the court around and not respecting the process. You don't just, I got my days mixed up and then just roll in when it's convenient for you.
I won't, and it wasn't that it was
Well,
convenient. I was in contact with Gibson, and yesterday, the only ride that I had up here had a heart attack. So I physically couldn't.
Oops, I'm sorry, Deputy Schrader. Good morning, Mr. Wertz in the conference room. He's going with you. He gets 2 days in jail for contempt. So we have to call somebody to come pick him up. All right, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Wirt, you're entitled to have your jury trial and we'll set one up. One option is just leave you in jail to make sure you show up for your jury trial. I've done that recently, but you did actually eventually show up.
I was in contact with Paul the whole time too.
Then why didn't you show up for court on Wednesday when we're all here ready for a jury trial and you're not? I have to call you and like wake you up. So you're gonna do 2 days in jail for failing to appear. You don't accept the prosecutor's office of disturbing the peace, and you don't have to. So we'll set it for jury trial. I'll work on that with your lawyer. Stay in contact with your lawyer. I don't want you to miss another court date. But you've got a couple days to think about showing up respectfully, on time, with no hat on, and understanding there's some gravity to the
I
process.
didn't even know that we were doing court right now.
Well, we are doing
had
court
a
right
meeting
now,
with
so-
Paul.
All right, well, good luck. All right, I was hopeful that matter would be resolved. He would do a disturbing the peace, but he doesn't want to do a probation. So Casey, thanks for logging in on short notice. You have 2 days to think about showing up on time. Paul, I'll work with you to schedule another jury trial date for that case. I'm sorry we squandered that whole day because we could have done this on Wednesday if he'd shown up. And Paul, thanks for coming in on real short notice.
Yes, no problem.
All right, I have a busy landlord-tenant docket. I'm going to start in just a moment. So Casey, you can let Debbie know what happened when she gets in. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.